Steven's the starter. That it's pretty much he's got to ride the shoulders of the defense this week. How the defense has to make life easier for him. Is that a challenge you guys will embrace, as a unit?
I think we're going to ride the shoulders of him. I mean, he's a guy who has a lot of confidence, and he's capable of doing everything that any other guy can do. And Steven, I go against him every day in practice. He has a great arm, and I think that's one thing that a lot of guys are probably going to see in the near future. How good of a quarterback he really is, because he's amazing. I've seen him do some things in practice, and I'm just I'm hoping and praying he can get them done in the game.
You guys know obviously that you need some help, now in the division, but is that confidence still there that this can still happen, that you can still win this thing, still get to that title game, still go to a BCS game?
I mean, honestly, the morale of the team was kind of like shell shock right after the game. I mean, that was just a tough loss that we had on Saturday, and we put a lot of work into practice that week. We felt good about going into the game, and to lose the way we did after the game, by such a short margin of points, it was a shell shock. But coming back, looking at film, making corrections, and on Sunday, I think the guys really kind of came together and corralled together and said, you know what, we can still do this. I mean, obviously we're going to need some help from either Georgia Tech or North Carolina, but I mean, we have our spirits high, and we know what we have to do. And we just gotta win ball games, and we've come together and we made decisions to try to do that.
Ryan, is there something you guys can put your finger on why you'll have a dominating performance like you did against North Carolina, then the next week come out against Virginia and not have a dominating performance? Is there some sort of trend or something you can put your finger on why that's happening?
I mean, I guess we can speculate a lot of reasons why, but I don't think there's anything in particular. We had a certain game plan, and we got to execute it. I think that we got to go back to the drawing board and just look at the corrections from the game and just do our best to try to get better execution out of the game plan.
Coach talks about. Go ahead, Susan.
No, go ahead. Okay. I just want to know, a little bit more about Steven. What's his personality like, off field, on field? I know he hasn't played really, but what do you know about him?
Well, from what I know, I play defense, obviously, but he's been on scout team and he's been wonderful. I mean, he always gives us a hard time. And if you're on scout team, you usually giving the first team or second team defense a hard time. You're probably doing something pretty good. Obviously, you guys got a glimpse of what he can do in the game on Saturday under the conditions. I mean, I'm sure he probably went into the game not knowing if he was going to play or not. But I mean, to do what he did and come in and play under the pressure he did, I think he did a wonderful job. And I'm actually looking forward to seeing him play this Saturday and beyond.
But you know how Ja'Cory is kind of a happy-go-lucky. He's kind of funny. He jokes around. He's poised under pressure. That's the stereotype of him. But he also, he likes to talk. What's Steven like?
Well, all the quarterbacks are like that, and I think they get that from Ja'Cory. I mean, Ja'Cory has that happy-go-lucky attitude, and he's a leader in the quarterback room, and A.J. Highsmith, and Steven. They all do a good job of just being happy. I mean, I've seen Steven make many jokes. I mean, he laughs just like anybody else. He has fun in practice, and I think he'll carry that over. I don't think anything in his demeanor will change.
I heard he's kind of quiet. Another defense, I think Wally told me yesterday that he's kind of quiet. Sometimes he's hard to figure out.
I mean, I guess he can be quiet at times, but I mean, the guy's still a freshman. And I think for one thing, freshmen they still trying to find their way, on and off the field, on campus and here in the Heck Athletics and around the other athletes. But I mean, he's a guy who he knows his teammates, he knows who they are, and once he gets around, he feels comfortable. So. But I'm pretty sure he'll be just fine.
Brian, you've seen Maryland a few times over the years now. This is not a typical Maryland team. They score a lot of different ways.
Right.
40-some weeks, 60-some a couple of times this year. Just can you really take much from other years when you trying to figure out what they're doing again?
Not at all. I mean, things change over the years. They're very high-powered, offense, and they got a lot of great playmakers. And you look outside they have a great back. They got two good receivers. They got a deep threat. They're very, they're two-dimensional. And I think it would be foolish of us to go into a game and not see that. I mean, Coach Frieden's going to have those guys ready. They have a lot of confidence right now with them being 6-2, and I'm sure they're riding their high horse right now. We just got to go in and just play Miami Hurricane football, man. Come up with a great game plan and execute.
Why is it that every time this season, though, when you guys seem to be backed up against the wall a little bit, that's when this team's at its best? Is there any reason really for that?
I hate it that it's that way, man. But sometimes I guess when things aren't really on the line, we just really show up. I mean, I don't know if it's part of our character. It's always that way. But if we really feel like we're on the line now, or if we did early in the season, we really feel like that now. So, yeah, you can expect us to come out and play. You really can.
Ryan, going back to the play where Jacory was knocked down and out, he throws the pick, so you guys have to take the field at that point. What were you thinking? How were you feeling? And what was, you looked around at the faces of your teammates, how were you guys handling yourself, seeing your quarterback taken off the field like that?
When it first happened, personally to me, Jacory's been knocked down before, so I really didn't take anything from it. But as he stayed down on the ground a little longer than expected, things kind of got serious. You saw both teams go down on the knee, and you see everybody, just kind of get that little, that little pause. But he got up and he walked off, and as a defense, it's really like motivating, because for them to knock our quarterback down, it kind of inspires us to, I guess, and kind of go, do the same, not in a hurtful way, but just go out and play hard and say, hey, if they can do that, we can do it too. Coach McGriff, he does a great job of getting the defense corralled on the sidelines, and he always says, we're the backbone of the team. So we have to step up and make a play, and all we try to do is go out there and get a turnover or make a spark to get the offense back the ball so they can be in position to score points.
Were you happy with your energy before his injury, like from when the start of the game, you had played about a quarter plus before his injury? Were you content with how much energy you brought to the field that day as a team?
I don't think we ever get content with our energy. There were some plays, I guess you could say kind of lackluster, and some players may have been confused on some things, but I think that beforehand that the effort was there. It was there, but always it may be a little confusion. But as he got hurt, I think that the effort was amplified. For some reason. I mean, anytime you see one of your guys go down, it's gonna make a spark in.
Ryan, but Coach Ryan did say that that really nobody stepped up right after Jacory got hurt. I mean, they drove the ball right down the field and they scored it. Do you think there's a problem with leadership on this team as far as players is concerned?
No, I mean, we had opportunities to stop them. I mean, they had two big first downs definitely in the fourth quarter that we felt like should have been stopped, and for whatever reason it was, we didn't get it done. And I think that's what many of the guys are just most, I think that's what is most disappointing to us, that we didn't get those two first down stopped, and that's something that we do in practice every day, and we felt like we had it, but for some reason we didn't get it done.
But does that say something about the leadership? I mean, it's pretty a lot of juniors and seniors on this team.
On the defense, you definitely got a lot of juniors and seniors, and I don't think you can really pick out one sole leader. Coming from the secondary standpoint, we got a lot of juniors and seniors, and all of us are leaders at some point. The one thing we try to do on defense is just make sure everybody does their job. I mean, if you're doing that on defense, you're probably going to be successful the majority of the time. It's going to be a little different on offense because you have older guys at certain positions, like wide receiver. You have younger guys, but as far as having no leaders, I don't really think that's a problem.